Hey, hey, garage people. Coming back at you from the workbench. As you can see, we've got the intake back out of the trunk, and the fuel rail is off because I was thinking about it last night, and I definitely did it wrong. I had all the injectors mounted into these fuel adapters, and then the adapters mounted into the intake. All of them were like that, as you can see. They're all the same. And it may have worked. The pressure probably would have held with the O-rings and these hold downs on there. But, as you can see, right here, the only lock would have been between this flange and the injector right here. And so there'd be nothing locking the adapter and the injector together except for the rail being held down. So, and then also having the injector spaced up off the intake, instead of being down here, it's up here. That could definitely change things a little bit. With regards to the spray pattern of the injector or a couple other things. I don't know, just not being correct. So, that's what it was. This is what it is now. Which obviously I should have had it this way the whole time. You can see the clip clips onto the injector and holds the adapter on. And then the adapter has two grooves that when it slides into the fuel rail and plugs in, one of those grooves will line up and provide space to use the clips that come on the original intake as well. That's why they give you 4 more with the adapters, or 8 more, sorry, so you can clip the adapter to the injector and then the adapter to the rail as well. So I don't know why I didn't realize that. Just took some thinking about it, I guess. I had lots of stuff going on yesterday. Maybe I was too excited or something. I don't know. Whatever. Heat of the moment. So, all is not lost. I have all the clips here, all 8. So I'm just going to take these clips off and leave everything else as it is. I'm not even going to take the fuel rail off. And then I will take these injectors out, unplug the adapter, and flip the O-rings over so I have the right O-ring on the injector base to slide into the intake, and then on the top of the injector to slide into the adapter, and then on top of the adapter to slide into the rail. So, yeah, such is life. That's how it goes. First time doing this sort of stuff, and now I wish I hadn't drilled these out and ruined the little filters and saved myself the $15, but it's alright. No total, or no big loss. It'll be 6 one way, half dozen the other, and I'm out $15, and I have to make sure to, know what I'm doing before I start next time. So, plan for the day, got my hot chocolate. I'm going to flip all this around and get it bolted back together. I've got one piston there. I've got my worksheet, I guess, under here. I think, yeah, I've got only 2 pistons done, so I have 6 more to go to calculate the rod clearance. And then I can put the crankshaft in the block, plastic gauge it and check it. If that's good, that will then come back out, and the cam will go in for temporary purposes, and then let's see, what'll be after that. Yeah, I won't be able to put the crank in permanently until I get that new cam bearing, because I'll need to get the tool in there, so it just won't work. So I won't be able to go too far ahead, but hopefully I can get all of my measuring done today without finally bolting in the crank for the final time. So after I plastic gauge it, I'll check it, and if it's good, I will just retorque it down and let it sit for now. or pull it out rather. If it's good, I'll check it, pull it out. If it's good, pat myself on the back, check it off the list. Then I can put the camshaft in, just because it's easy when you have access to it all the way through here, so you can just hold it the whole way, rather than having this hole filled with a crankshaft. So I'll put the cam in, put the cover on the front here to hold it in place, put the cover on the back temporarily, the rear main cover, and then the front cam plate just to hold the cam in place. Lube everything up, obviously, when I put it in. And then I can put the engine on the stand, or maybe I'll do that before so I don't have to lift the crankshaft. That's probably what I'll do. But moral of the story is, then I can get this one rotating assembly in, this single piston, in hole number 1, put the head on, and then check for piston to valve clearance and pushrod length. So that's the goal for today, and then obviously all these need to get mic'd out as well. But if that all works, then what I do is take everything back apart, knock out this old cam bearing here, and then I can put my order into Summit for the new cam bearings, or the new cam bearing, just one, and then the push rods, and then a tapered ring installer to get these pistons installed real nice with their new rings. So yeah, got a little bit on the slate to do today. Well, I mean, obviously that's not all of it. I could just keep going after that, but yeah, so that'd be really nice to get that stuff crossed off, and then those parts ordered. Then I can go ahead and do my little short episode about horsepower projections. So yeah, good stuff, catching mistakes, works out all right. Assembly line everything, and I'll get it back together. Woo-woo! Keep wrenching, folks. Hey, garage people! Woo-woo! Happy Wednesday afternoon. I like the new facial hair. Look right at home in the wasteland. Anyway, been making some progress since I left you off this morning. Pop this open. The intake is fixed. The adapters have been swapped. The injectors are now below the adapters, and they are doubly clipped on. We got the injectors clipped to the adapters, and the adapters clipped to the fuel rail. So we are set there. All is well. And speaking of stuff being well, check this out. Look at this. Motor is off the table, and there's some stuff inside it. Look at that. There's a crankshaft in there. There's a camshaft in there. There's a piston in this hole. And there's a timing set on the front. Look at that. All mocked up and fun. Oh, we're so happy. But yeah, so what I'm up to right now is I got all my main bearing clearances and rod clearances set, and then I checked them. I checked the mains with Plastigauge, and we are perfect. The factory spec is between 0.018 to 0.00 to 0.02 inches. Actually, there should be another 0 in there. 0.0018 to 0.002 is the let's see.
Arms straight out.
Yeah, that's a credit to like Demario Davis. He had that one. That's the Lord. He's been good to me. Yeah. So
yeah. So that's technically wrong. That's
everything that I am. I want to be
doubly as much as you need. But anyway, everything's spec'd out just fine. And if you watch this, oh yeah, this spins like butter. Everything's all oiled up. I got the piston rings off to keep the bore nice while I measure piston to valve clearance. I got the mains all lightly torqued and that rod lightly torqued, and then I got the rear cover on to hold the cam in. I got the cam plate underneath here, and I've got the cam on as well. So all that is excellent. And this turns really smooth, which is exactly what you want. So what I'm gonna do is, after I go grab a little bit of lunch, I am going to set this piston at top dead center on the compression stroke. put the lifters in with a new bucket and a bolt, and then put my cylinder head number 1 on here and check my pushrod length with my new 1.8 Yellowterra rockers. So yeah, fun stuff there. I think after I get all that scienced out, I'll probably try to make that video, that little short that I've been talking about, to see if I can't get some viewer engagement. But I'm gonna go get the nuts and bolts out of the way first, because if I get those push rods measured today, then I can order my number 5 cam bearing, which is hiding under here, and then I can get my push rods all ordered. I can get my my piston installation tool ordered, and then I also need to order 2 of these. These are the knock sensor plugs that go in the valley cover on an LS1, which is right there. And this gasket set, which I think was like an arm and a leg, didn't come with one, so I was a little bit miffed about that, but whatever. It is what it is. It's all money under the bridge at this point. So yeah, I got my new rockers here and my fitment instructions. So we're gonna go about seeing about pushrod length, and I got this piston or this pushrod checker after lunch. I'll put these head bolts on with the cylinder head here and use a little cylinder number 1, and we'll get things figured out. So yeah, onward and upward, folks. Good stuff. Looking like a motor. Yeah. All right, garage people. Wednesday afternoon / evening, and I'm coming back at you from the engine shop. Got the lump sitting here with the driver's side cylinder head on it. Checking springs still on there. You can see my wipe pattern is right in the middle with the new rocker arms, so that's awesome. Got my cam in there. BTR stick. Timing set on the front. Crank still in, and my single piston. But so far so good. I managed to use some clay and check piston to valve clearance. And I also checked as much as I could, because I also checked push rod length, and mine are too short. I need to buy some longer ones, so that's good to know. Yeah, the 1.8 rockers, the Yellowterras, plus the milling of the head, plus the smaller base circle on the camshaft. Definitely going to need a longer push rod. I'm only getting like 1/4 turn for preload, and it's still even got a little bit of lash in it. So I'm going to inspect those tonight and hopefully get some new push rods ordered today, along with the gaskets for the knock sensors and that piston ring installer, the 1 cam bearing. And then I'm going to probably order a new cam thrust plate as well, because these ARP bolts I got in there, this plate is actually the one kind for the recessed bolts like this. And I would like to use my ARPs, so I'm going to see about getting the correct cam retainer plate, and we'll go from there. So pretty much everything went I don't know about as expected, but pretty much good. It took me a little while of figuring out with the rockers to zero in where I am for my push rods. They're definitely too short though, and so that there was still a little bit of lash in between the valve tip here and the rocker tip when I had everything tightened down. Those are just for the cam. Oh, nice, that's good. Look at those little recesses in there. Awesome. Yeah, so in any case, I am going to go ahead and order some push rods and everything else, and hopefully those will be here soon, and then I can get everything spec'd out and start final assembly. I'll have to pull the cam out to put that other bearing in. I'll pull the crank out, and then final torque it with the windage tray and the crank scraper on there. But I need to have those push rods first before this thing goes back together for in its final form. And those rings need to go back on the piston and all that good stuff. But my bearings spec'd out really nice. So I'm happy with that. And the head fits on real good. Let me pull that off real quick. Yeah. So yeah, there's that. There's my piston in there and the nice lubed up bores for those lifters. I was using these new LS7 lifters and a new lifter tray there with a new bolt. And I got this Comp Cam's cam and lifter installation lube, and then some oil for the crank bearings. So, pretty good, all things considered. I knew I was going to have to order some more stuff, so that's no big deal. I'm just glad I'm getting it all figured out now. So I eventually will have to do a little bit of clearancing on the front cover, but that's down the road, so I'm not too worried about it yet. I think I have all the other parts that I need, so that's good news there. My exhaust and intake clearances measured out at 0.111 and 0.063, I think, so there should be plenty of space there. I'm going to reference that, and it'll change a little bit, I'm sure, once I get the full lift out of the cam, but with those push rods, but I should be just fine with clearance. So yeah, good stuff. So I again didn't get to my engine short video tomorrow. Yeah, then I can start tearing this stuff down, come out to get it to come out, to get it to go back in. So pull everything apart and get the crank out and get that other camshaft bearing out, and then we'll keep going with the reassembly once I get the new stuff in. In the meantime, I could probably start turning my attention to the gauges in the dash, which I may do as well. But yeah, as far as that goes, the motor needs to go together so that it can go on the subframe, so then the trans can go on and we can start measuring for the clutch and everything. So yeah, lots of little fiddly stuff today, but it was good progress and it was stuff that needed to be done. So I'm just glad my gaskets will work, and my head gasket will do just fine. Everything should fit just like a glove. So yeah, I'm going to go reference some parts, and we'll come back at you tomorrow with a little short and some more progress on the motor. Yeah, talk to you then. Keep wrenching.